That up because at 1-1 it looked like your side were the most likely to go on and win the game.
I thought even before that, I had complete belief that we'd get back into it. I think fine lines in terms of John Lundstrom being offside and a yard where Basham makes a bit of a rash challenge. Dangerous side to play against, obviously. Got a lot of good players at the top of the pitch, a lot of pace on the counter-attack, but especially second half, I thought we dominated the game. Missed the best chances. Got ourselves back into it and was confident that we would possibly have another chance before the end. But, we've just not got that balance right at the moment. We were more aggressive, we were more competitive in terms of our approach. We asked questions of Arsenal. However they play, however we play, really is insignificant for everybody else. We wanted to be effective and efficient, and I thought we were, but just because of possibly a couple of results and a couple of performances second half at Newcastle and at Manchester United, there's a couple of boys that are just a little bit short of belief, and obviously when they're short of belief, they take an extra touch that they don't need to take. They're not as bright and with the play, and maybe they just dip out on that little bit of quality that they've definitely got and have shown so far this season. And I think if we'd have got the last pass out, a little bit of quality around the edge of their box, I believe that we would have won the game, but we didn't show that. But encouraging signs from our point of view, because obviously the 10 men at Newcastle, yeah, there you go. But the Man United game. But by the way, Man United can beat anybody. And can beat any promoted side, by the way, 3-0, and they did, even though I was not too happy about my team's performance. But today I was more comfortable in terms of what they showed against a big club in this division.
Any complaints with the penalty decision?
No, I mean, as I said afterwards to the media, there was no. There seems to be. You don't need to give an invitation out for any of them boys to go over, and that's part and parcel. Maybe that's just natural for those sort of players. It isn't natural for me and my players, and that's this contact. He's felt it. He's gone down, and he's give the decision. He's give the referee a decision to make. So, from our point of view, Bash stays on his feet. He's not so rash with the challenge and impatient. He stays on his feet, and we're in a decent position there. But then you believe it's outside the box and it's inside the box, and I think a couple of things have, like I said, maybe gone against us again today. But we have to battle through it and fight through it, and that's how we have to deal with it.
Can you draw some positives though? Today you've got the first goal since the restart, David McGoldrick on the score sheet as well, and you looked more of an attacking threat.
Well, I thought we were the dominant team second half. They've had to defend for their lives at times. We changed our way of playing a little bit because I thought that was the right thing to do. I don't get caught up in, we play one way. There's 2 or 3 ways to win a football match, and I thought this was the best opportunity of getting a result. And I believed even if we went into extra time, we would have got a result. But they've shown that bit of quality after we've given the ball away pretty cheaply. So there's things that we need to do better with, especially with the ball, and especially in the final third. But the main ingredients that you need to win any sort of football game at any sort of level, we showed today, and we showed in bundles. So I'm happy with that aspect of the game. Obviously, not happy that we're not taking the opportunity of getting through to the FA Cup semi-final.
Thanks, Chris.
Cheers, Tim.
Rob Staten.
Chris, having asked a lot of questions of Arsenal, then getting the equaliser at the end, was it gut-wrenching to lose the way that you did?
Yeah, of course it is. You keep saying it, Rob. You've seen enough of us. We know we had them on the back foot for long periods of the second half, and we get a goal, a deserved one. We should have got it a bit earlier through Basham, and we should have, have certainly tested the goalkeeper a little bit more, because we created the, we had more of the ball, we had more of the play in their half. I was looking to my right instead of my left, even though they've got ridiculous pace on the counter attack. We're looking for that bit of quality. Obviously, goal disallowed, which is disappointing from our point of view. But to get yourselves back in, and to lose 2 games, there's always, where do we go from here? We have lost, but I always think there's a manner in how you lose, and certainly I can accept today a lot easier than maybe I did in midweek.
In that case, do you see it as a step forward?
100%, yeah. We've pushed Arsenal to the limit of from a defensive point of view as well. So it was pretty comfortable for Manchester United. I should imagine that it was pretty comfortable for them on Wednesday night, watching the game back and being involved in the game. And I thought that was an uncomfortable afternoon for Arsenal. And that's what we have to make it. We have to make it uncomfortable in the way we play, physically, tactically. I'd like to have made it a little bit more uncomfortable technically, because I do think we have the talent in the group, and that is just not showing as much as we would like because of results and maybe a couple of below par performances. So certainly something that we can move forward from, and hopefully look at the next game and try and get it all together, because that is ultimately what we've had to do all season, Rob. We've had to make sure that there's a perfect storm. We've had to make sure that everything comes together on the day for us to get a result. We can't play at 6 out of 10 and 7 out of 10 to get a result. We have to be 8s and 9s to get any result in this division, and we have done so. That gives me confidence that we can do it again.
Just finally, you mentioned there are 1 or 2 that are maybe just lacking a bit of belief at the moment. How do those players regain that belief?
Well, this positive messages from myself and my staff, talks to them, clips that we show them about previous performances, whether subjective or objective. These boys have, put in some brilliant performances for this football club for quite a number of games. So they're just going through that little bit of a period where they have to dig themselves out of it. So hopefully they will do, in terms of knowing what it takes to try and win a game of football, the sort of fundamental aspects of that. And, they have to come through it. We picked a pretty settled side today, looking at the players that have sort of got us into the position, the midfield 3 that have sort of been pretty regular this season. John Egan coming back in, Dean coming back in. Thought the combination of the front 2 was good. I thought David McGoldrick showed his quality, and I thought Ollie McBurney was getting back to his form of pre-lockdown. And there was good contributions from majority of them. They just, as I said, just a little bit anxious and a little bit rushed by a couple of the boys. Taking an extra touch, not seeing things as clearly as possibly you do when you're playing at the top of your game. So have to battle through it and play through it, as we all have to do. Battle through it and come through it.
Cheers, Chris. Thank you.
Cheers, Rob.
All good, all. Oh, Nath. Go on, Nath.
Hi, Chris. John Lundstrom. Is it a bad injury? Looked like it was with his arm.
Yeah, don't know yet. I've not seen the fullback, so I've not seen that. I've not had the opportunity of speaking to our physio. Thought Xander, when he came on, was really good. Delighted with his contribution. Been an easy period for him as well, as it isn't for everybody. But there was no hiding place out there, and I didn't think my players hid at all. They stepped up to the challenge, and with a little bit more quality in the final third, I believe we would have won the game, but we didn't, and we haven't.
You said in the week that the performance was more important than the result, and going into the Tottenham game, I thought the characteristics that we associate with your team that had been missing in the last 2 games they were back today?
Yeah, I would say difficult, Nath, at Newcastle, especially when you go down to 10 men, and we dominated possession in the second half of that game, but down to 10 men, and you make that mistake, you can see people of confidence just takes a bit of a hit. But definitely, you're right in terms from the Manchester United game, and I thought it was more of a Sheffield United performance today, from start to finish. We have to keep believing. It just seemed to be one of those games where sort of every sort of 50-50 that we went into came out their way and bounced their side. But you have to go with it. You have to go with it and ride through with that and come out the other side. And definitely from a performance level, we asked the question of Arsenal. I think they're getting back on the bus and thinking that was a difficult afternoon for us. And they've had to work very hard and do quite a lot of things right from a defensive point of view to get through to the semi-final. From our point of view, big moments, a little bit of quality, decisions. We break it up. We go 1-1 and there's 3 minutes to go. We break it up. We feel, our turn to really step on the gas, and we make some really couple of bad decisions. Bang, bang, and then all of a sudden the ball's in the back of the net and we're out the cup. So, yeah, difficult to take.
Was George Baldock an injury?
No.
Okay, thanks, pal.
Cheers.
Matt Nash.
Hi, Chris.
Hey, Matt.
Hi, mate. No fans today, but was it a relief to be back at Bramall Lane and playing at home again after 3 away games?
Yeah, it was obviously to play 3 away games on the spin. Nobody else has had to do that, have they?
I think possibly Arsenal.
Arsenal have had to do that. 3 league games.
Possibly through 2 league and 1 cup, I think, for Arsenal. Yeah.
So, I know we played 3 league games. Yeah.
Yeah, so...
so sorry about that. Yeah, just trying to work it out why, these things seem to happen to us.
Yeah,
I know why. But I'll leave you to write about that. It was good. I don't think as 30,000 people on a blustery, wet, cold. It wouldn't have been June, would it? It'd have been in the day. We talked about it. I said to Alf when we were on top second half, which it felt that way for quite a long period that we were on top second half. What would it have been like with 30,000 Sheffield United fans driving us on? So these are part and parcel of things that we have to deal with. Certainly done us no favours at all, but we all understood the situation and getting back to playing and finishing the season. But it was better performance from us, Matt. More a Sheffield United performance.
Cheers, Chris.
Thank you.
Shieldsy.
There we are. Sorry, I'll unmute myself. Apologies. Just in terms of that confidence that you said about just taking a little extra touch and perhaps not quite having that belief, but do you think that'll be a performance that'll bring that belief back and that'll accelerate that process?
It should be. It should be, because I'm no spin. It gets said. If I think players have let themselves down and let the team down through match to match, through game to game, through season to season, it gets said. And these players have not let anybody down at all. They're just having a little bit of a dip. This dip could have happened at any time. We talked about it in Portugal, about what, so many managers that I spoke to in the Premier League with Premier League experience said, especially for you guys, like, a team that are just getting promoted, what you're going to have to do is handle disappointment very regular. And it might be for 2, 3, 4 and 5 games. But we haven't done that. So I wasn't intending for us to chuck in a couple of dodgy performances just to keep the expectation levels down, because that ain't the way I think we should go about it. But maybe looking back, we should have done, just to temper a few bits. But we're not at that stage. We've done brilliantly. They've not let anybody down. And they certainly haven't let anybody down today. Fine margins. John timing his run and getting in. A couple of bounces of the ball that I didn't think bounced to us in the penalty area. Rash making a rash challenge. A little bit of quality, fine margins, but we got to keep going. And certainly the players, if I've been told that that's a decent enough performance, and I think it was a performance good enough to win a cup tie. In terms of a lot of aspects, the bit that really does, seal the tie is that little bit of quality that we're after, which I think if we'd have found, then I think we'd have gone and won the game.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Cheers, guys.
Spot on.
All the
Cheers.
best. Cheers.
Thanks, Chris. Cheers.